Hello, welcome. I'm going to get notifications now. Now let's get the stream on. Okay, notifications are out. Get this puzzle loaded up. Go 1 here, 2, 6, 2, 5, 1, 9, 5, 9, 4, 8, 7, 9, 1, 3, 1, 4, 9, 6, 9, 8, 7, 2, 1, 8, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 7. I'm going to put down before I pick this off. Here, let's reduce the level on the background music, the read-in music. Make it a little less annoying. Alright, well, let's switch to the game scene, puzzle scene. Here I am. How are you doing? Alright, let me come back up puzzle on my side and bring the cat window out. Let's do a check on this. Is this valid? Looks like it might be. Okay, cat wants me to turn on. You got 20 seconds here to grab a screenshot. Maybe start solving the puzzle yourself. And it might be longer than that for me to get the cat TV up and running. We'll see. Oh, wonderful. We got an update. Just what I need when I'm on a time frame. All right. Cat TV. There we go. Now he's busy. Okay, so 9 and 5 in here. 9 there. One of these 3 is a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. Here I've got 2 possibilities for a 5. We get one of these 2 is a 9. I've got one of these 2 is a 9. And 4 possibilities for a 9 here. And let's see, anything 5. Just one of these 5. One of these 3. One of these 2. These 2. And that's locked in up there. 6s. And I've got 4 possibilities here. And 4 possibilities here. Here we've got 3 possibilities. Everything's open here. 4 possibilities here. That's not a 6. That's a possibility 6. That's possibly 6. I got 4 possibilities here. Alright, let's go on with ones. It looks like I can fill one in here. Get to fill one here. And drop a 1 here as well. How about 2s? I'm going to 2 here. And here. And here. So 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. 3 possibilities here. Here we've got 4. And everything's open. Well, 4 are open. 2's here. On to 3. We got 3 here. A 3 blocking here. So one of these 4's a 3. One of these 2's a 3. Because I've got a 3 blocking this one. That means one of these 2 is a 3. Oops, not this one. So that's a 3. And one of these 2 here are a 3. And we've got 2 possibilities here. Alright, 4s. 4 here. Another down here. Says one of these 2 is a 4. This one here says I've got 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. I go with 6. Alright, so the remaining digit here is going to be a 8. One of those 2 will be an 8. Except that's not going to be an 8 there, so 8 and 9. Changes this to these 2 are possible 9s. Alright, so we were looking at 4s, and no real guidance on 4s here. Over here, all of these are potentially 4s. 4 possibilities here, 3 here. Alright. 2, or no, 3s. 3 here. 1 down there, 1 here. 1 here. Gives me these 2 3s. Oh, we're running up, aren't we? My mistake. 5. So one of these 2 is a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. I've got one of these 2 becomes a 5. This can't be a 5. So that means that's a 5. That turns that into a 9. That turns into a 9. This becomes not a 9. This becomes a 5. Alright. We've now got two possibilities for 5 here. And it looks like just those two and these two. So on to 6s. So we got 6s there and there. One of these 3 is a 6. And these 4 is a 6. Up here we got 4 possibilities, 3 possibilities, and everything's available for 6 here. Down here, I got 4 possibilities for 6. Look at 7s, looks like I've got 2 possibilities for a 7 here. 3 possibilities here. 4 here. 2 possibilities for a 7 here. Means I get a 7 populated there. Yeah, help at all? Not really. Alright, how about 8s? Well, one of these two is an 8 or 7. That means this is going to be our 4. And 8 there and there. One of these 3 are an 8. One of these 3 are an 8. We got 2 possible 8s here and 3 possible 8s there. So with this combination, these two are also 4, 6 possibles. One of these two is a 4. Down here, I've got 3 possibles. This is a 4. That makes this a 6, this a 4, 6, and 4. And over here, that can't be a 4 anymore, so that's 4. 4 there and there. And what do we got down here? So we now have 2 possibilities for 4. What about 2s here? I don't know, we've got 2 possibilities for a 2 there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 possibilities for 7. Okay. So we got a 2 or 3, 1, 4, 5. This can't be a 2, so 6 and 3 are possible here. This can't be a, well, this could be any of them. So 2, 3, 6 here. And yes, one of these is a 6. So these two no longer get to be. And one of these two is a 6. Still end up with 3 possibilities here. 3 and 2 possibilities here, though. Well, those two is a 6. All right. So one of these 3 is a 7. One of these 4 is a 7. Three possible 8 there. 3 possible 8 there. 3 possible 8 here. 2 down there. All right. Ah, we got a problem. This can't be a 3. No. That can be a 3. This one, it can't be a 3. Okay. However, and unfortunately, these two can be 3s yet. Alright, 1, 2. All 4 of those can be 2s. I've got 3 possible 2s there. One of the reasons I don't like dropping these in like that. Clearing that. This one's good to keep, but like I can't mark 7s here. Or the 7s here. 1, how about 2? Okay, that's 3 possibilities for 2. Okay, 2 for 3, 4, and 5. 3 for 6. 3 for 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Well, I suppose we can start with the font over here. I'm going to go with 7 and 8 here. That means over here, one of these two becomes an 8. This becomes an 8. That means that becomes an 8. That becomes a 7, 8, 5, 7, and oh, not a 7. One of these is 2 now. So we hold off on that. This becomes a 5, a 4, not a 5. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This becomes a 7. So we can fill these two. And now this is 6 and 3. Fills up here. This becomes not a 4, so that's a 4. And what I'm missing here is the 2. That makes one of these 2 into a 2. All right. What am I missing here? Looks like this is going to be a 7. 8. Come back to that later. That can't be a 7. So back to the I think it was right here. Instead of that being a 7, let's do that being a 7. Makes that into an 8. Nope, that's not an 8. All right, that's not an 8 then. Means that's not an 8, which means one of these two is an 8. No, neither of these two can be an 8. Not with that. So 8 and 7 now. That means one of these two is a 7. One of these two becomes an 8. Still have 3 possibilities for an 8 there. Okay, no. One of these two is now a 7. Pairs up down here. I got a 6 here. Still 3 possible 6s here. One of these two. Yeah, one of these two is a 6. Just can't label the 2s and 3s there. We got 4 possible 2s, 3 possible 2s, 4 possible 2s, 2 possible 2s. There's 3 possible 2s here, 2 possible here, and still 3 possibles here. That's 3 possible 7s. No, not 3 possible 7s anymore. One of these 2 is a 7. Okay. Back up here. 1s, 3 possible 2, 4 possible 2s, 4 possible 3s, 4 for 2 4s, 5, 2 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s, and a 9. Okay. 1, 3 possible 2s, 2 possible 3s, a 4, 5, 6s. Do we have any guidance on 6s? No, we don't. We've got 3 possible 6s, 2 possible 7s, 8, and 9. Okay. So here, 1, 3 possible 2s, 3, 4, 5, 2 possible 6s, 7, 3 possible 8. Oh, not a 9 here anymore. 9 there. That changes a couple of things, doesn't it? So we get a 1 possible 1 there, 2 possible 1s here, 3, 4, 5. Now, so let's see, those are 6s. We already marked 7, and now 2 possible 8s. Okay. That does help some. Not quite enough yet, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hmm. Okay. Ooh, I do get 2s now. So one of these 2 is going to be 2. Because these 2 are fully populated, that makes this a 2, a 4. That means one of these 3 is a 2. One of these 3 is a 2. But somewhat better anyways. So we now have 1s, 2, 2 possible 3s, 4, 5, potentially 3 possible 6s here. That's probably 7, 8, 9. So can we narrow down 6s some? Not quite yet, other than the alternative to a 6 here is an 8 now. And one of these two is a possible 8. So we can't clear that yet. Can't put that 8 in. 1, 3 possible 2s. 2 3s, 4, 2 5, 2 6s, 7, 3 possible 8. Okay, the problem here is the alternative 2s in these 3 and 8 in these 3. Okay. So that can't be a 2. Means it's possibly a 3. That's also possibly a 3. And unfortunately, these two are both possibly 3s. Okay. If I drop this as a 7, that turns this into a 7. This becomes a 3. Now, and these two is a 3. This is not a 7. It becomes a 6. So this is not a 6. This is 2. This is a 6. 3 down here. That 3 there. Still have 8 4, so this is a 3. And put that 3, 8 4, 8 6. There's 3 possible 8s there. 2 possible 8s here. This becomes a 2. Means one of these two. This one is no. This one's a 2. That broke a 5 there, so that becomes a 5. This becomes an 8, 7, and 6. This becomes a 5, 4, and 7. 4 and 8 here. 8 to 6 here. 6. Nope. 6 broke. So back out there. That was on the assumption that that was a 2. Because we had locked that out of being a 2. So instead, let's let that be a 2. 7, 4, 5, 3. That becomes a 5. Don't know if that's going to be an 8 or not. One of these two will be a 2. Not a 7. So that's a 7. And that breaks 7. All right. Let's try from this perspective. This becoming a 7. because it's the only 7 after I've got one up there. That turns this into a 7. This becomes okay. 2 possible 2s now. Alright. Now we can drop this as an 8. 5, 2, 6. Turn that into a 2. This becomes a 3, 5, and 4. 4 and 8. 8, 2, 6. 6. Not there. Alright. So the 7, 8 combination we picked earlier is still an issue. That there. Alright. That doesn't work as a starting point. Doesn't mean it's not right, just doesn't work as a starting point. We still have these 2 as 6s. And 3 possible 6. I think we flood the rest of this in. That's pretty much the only way I'm going to get this the rest of the way solved, I think. 1. So we get all those are possible 2s. These are all possible 2s. These are all possible 2s. These are 2s. Got 2s there. And these are possible 2s. 3s. And we've got 3s possibly there. Got 3s marked there, there. And there, already marked. Alright. 4. We got those 2 marked. Given, learned. And these 2. Alright. 4's earmarked. 5, 5, 5. These 2 is a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. Okay, 5s are out. 6 is there. One of these 3 is a 6. I've got 2 possibles down here. And 2 possibles there. Alright. 7s. I've got 2 possible 7s here. 3 possible 7s here. Given here. One of these 4 is a 7. One of these 3 is a 7. And that's 7. 8s. 3 possible 8s here. 4 possible 8s. Nope, not a possible there. 3 possible 8s there. 3 possible 8s here. And that's 8. 4. 9. Not a 9. Put that as a 9. That comes a 9. 9s are marked. Okay, so this becomes a 9. Okay, so I've got 3 possible places for 2 here, 6, and a 7. And I've got 4 spaces there. Ah, 2 possibilities for 3. Let's go with that, and we'll try both of them as necessary. That means neither of these can be a 3. Means that can't be a 3. Turns that into a 3. Gives us a 7 and 6 here. So not a 6 here, not 7s and the rest of these. Still 2 possibilities for a 7. Not a 7 there, so 2 possibilities down here. Ah, 5 here is the result. So this becomes a 2. Not a 2 there. 5 here. Not a 5 there. That's 5, 4, 7, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8. 2 here. 3 here. Not 3. Nope. So no, that's not going to be. We'll go back to that 3. There. And change this to be a 3. That makes this a 3. These 2 are not. Either. Still, both of these are possible with both of these. This is no longer a 3. Remember to clean that stuff up. Oh, clean that stuff up. Alright, so we end up with a 6, 2, 6, 2 here. So not a 2 there. 8, 5, 8, 5. Finishes the row or column. Up here we've got 7, 2, 7, 6, and 7, 2, 6. 8, 6, 7, 8. And this is the only 2 in the column. So that becomes a 2, not a 2 there. Not a 2 here. One of these 2 is a 2. I think that's supposed to be a possible 6. We'll clean up the 3. Okay. 7, 6, 7, 8, 2, 6, 2, 7, 8. 6, 3, 7, 6, 7, 3. 7, 8, 4, 7, 8, 4, 7, 8. Eight, 6, 8, 6, 6, 2, 6, 2. There's triple here. Hmm. Okay, let's work through the purple here. See if we get anything to do 3 first. Is that a 7 and a 6 here? 7 here, 8, 7 here, 2 here, 6. Um, we get the 8, 4 left here. Down here we end up with a 2. Bring up 2 here, just 7. And up 7s, this becomes a 4, 5, and 3. 5 here, out of 5, and 3, that gives us an 8, 7, we missed something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, can't be a 5. No, 5, 6, 7. This can be an 8. Oh, okay, I didn't clean up the 6, that was fine. So that becomes a 6, 2, 8 here, 5, 2, 6 here, 2, 6 here. Oh, oh, we broke with a 2 here and here. All right. What was with that being a 2? Oh, no, that was with that being the 3. Try 3 here, not a 3. Not a 3, 3. Not 3s. And these 2 will be a 3. And these 2 is a 3. All right. 7, 8, 8, 6, 8, 2, 7, 2. Why? Ooh, 8, 2, 8, 2. That becomes a 5. So this becomes a 2. Not a 2. Not a 2. And I've got 2, 6, 7, 2, 7, 6 combo there. 8, 6, 8, 2, 7, 8. This is the only 6 in the column. Which works. So that becomes an 8, 2, 6. 2 here, 8 here. That becomes a 7, 8, 6, and 2. Nope, that can't be 2. Can't be a 5. Be a 5. No, it can't be a 5. Can't be an 8 down there. All right. Okay. Okay. From here, we've got a 5, 2, 5, 2 pair here. Not a 2, not a 2. That's 7, 6 pair with it. Okay, 6, 2, 6, 2. So not a 2 here. That becomes a 3. Not a 3 here now. This one becomes a 3. 8, 5, 8, 2, 8, 2. So 8, 5, 5, 2, 8, 8, 2. 8, 6, 8, 6, 6, 2, 6, 2. Okay. 7, 4, 7, 2, 8, 2. There should be a 4. Why is it not? Maybe it is, I just don't know. Oh, no. 6, 3, 7, 3, 7, 6, 3. Now, eliminate the 7 here. Seven, 6, 6, 2, 3, 7, 8, 2, 3, 7, 8. 7, 8, 7, 8, 4, 2, 7, 8, 4, 2, 7, 2. Right. Well, let's try the 8, 6 combo here. 6 first, 8 there. That turns that into a 5, a 2, and a 6. So this turns into a 5, 8, 7, 6, 2, 7, 6, 2, 7, not a 7, not a 3, not a 3, 8, 2, 6, not a 6, not a 2, so that's 3, turns that into a 7, not 7's here, and this becomes the 7 it thinks it should be. Alright, we also clear up 2's here. This becomes a 2, so not a 2 here, turns that into 7, 4, 8, 4, 2 here, and that breaks this 2, 6. Alright, so let's go back. And turn this into an 8, 2, 6, 6, 2, 5, 8, 2, 3, 5, this becomes a 2, not a 2. This is not a 3 anymore. What are these 3's? These 2 is this nice purple, so we'll leave that alone. this one becomes a 5. We're forcing this to be an 8. 7 and 6. 2 here. And that's not going to work. Alright, I am starting at the top. Yeah. This time we do a flood fill from the beginning. Which does mean we can pop in a couple of 1s along the way. Well, the 1s are all flooded. Alright, 2s. Threes. Yeah, it looks like 3s are set. 4. Those 2s are 4. That's it for 4s. 5. One of these. That one's going to be a 5. One of these two is a 5. 3 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. 2 possibilities here. That takes care of earmarking all the 5s. So 2 6s. Okay, 6s are now marked. One of these two will be a 7. One of these 3 are a 7. Nope, not this one. So 2 are. And these 3 are a 7 though. 4 possibilities here. 3 possibilities there. Alright. 8. Those 3 are possible 8. These 2 are possible 8, so that's not anymore. 3 possible 8 here. Looks like 3 possible 8s there. And here. 2, 3 possible 8 here. And now we look at 9. This one's going to be a 9. Means neither of these can be a 4, so that's cool. Other places for 9. This one's going to be a 9. This one is going to be a 9. And that means this one's going to be a 9. This is the only place I've got the only 2 I've got. The only number I've got here that drops is a 2, but I'm missing a digit. What am I missing? 7. Either of these can be a 7. That can be a 7. Yep, 7's down here, though. Nothing in here. Nope, that's because that's 7. Those are 7s. Alright. How about this 8? Is it valid? As the solution. Likewise, the 7. I believe those two are. So we check this 8 here. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And no 8 visible. So 8 there. That means that 7 is valid. So that's not a 7. And an 8 in here. So these two become locked in 7, 8 that we were seeing earlier. 4, 6, 4, 6. One of these two will be a 5. 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2. Not a 4, neither of those. One of these two is a 4. These two is 8. And these 3 is 8. 4, 6, 8, 6, 4, 6. 4, 2, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay. This is the only 3. Nope. This cannot be a 3. That is 3. That can't be a 3. So one of these two is a 3. And these two is a 3. Okay. This is the only 4 in the column. Neither of these two can be a 4. That can't be a 4. So 4 here. We can clear out these 4s. That one. Okay. Oh, that one as well. So that makes that into a 4. It's there now. That's a 4. That's a 4. So we have the 2 possible 4s here. And 4, 6 pairs here in the column. 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6. Oh. All right. Okay. Let's count with the 4s and 6s down here. Drop this as a 6. That becomes a 4 and a 5. This becomes a 2, a 5 here. 8, 6 here. 8 here. Not an 8 there, so that's an 8. That becomes our 5, so not a 5 here. This becomes a 5. Not a 2 here. Ah, 3 here, 2 here. So not a 2 here. 6, 3, 6, 3, so that's a 7. This becomes an 8, 7, and 8 here. Not a 7 or 8. Not a 2 here, so that's a 7. Not a 7 here. Not a 7 here. This becomes a 6, 7, and 2. 4 and 6. 4 here, 7 here. That makes this into a 2 and a 4 here. And not a 6. So that's a 3, 6, 3. Pair of 6 2s there. This one becomes a 2, so neither of these are 2. That becomes a 6, a 3, a 6, and a 2. 59 minutes, 47 seconds, almost an hour, and obviously about 12 minutes when I start with a clean slate and do all of the, do a flood fill to begin with. All right, we got one more hard puzzle tomorrow before we go back to easy on Sunday. I hope to see you. You know how to go about making sure that happens from the streamer perspective. Also, if you're getting notifications on Facebook, or I'm posting notifications on Facebook, Mastodon, or Metaverse, and Blue Sky. Feel free to follow me on any of those. If you need links to them, I will provide links as possible. Feel free to leave a question, comment, and we'll see where things go. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.